Is the market starting to cool down here in the Rocket City?
Let's take a look.
Hello, and welcome to the Rocket City Homes channel.
Okay, let's jump right into our July market report.
In short, yes, the market overall is cooling down, as you've likely seen on the national news.
And yes, that includes the Huntsville area.
But we've been in the news again recently, and that could affect the future of real estate prices.
So here are our July stats.
As you can see, almost 4,000 homes sold in Huntsville last month, and more than 2,500 homes sold in Madison.
There were a little over 1,300 homes that sold in Athens and just over 1,000 in Decatur.
This is very similar to the numbers of homes that sold last year in July.
But that's not the problem.
No. The issue is the amount of homes on the market right now.
If you've seen any of our other recent market updates, you may be able to tell that these numbers are a slight improvement from the last couple of months.
However, we are still well below where we should be.
Last year at this time, there were over 1,000 homes on the market in the area.
But last month, in July, there were not even 650 homes for sale.
And while the days on market has risen in the last month or so, last year it was much longer.
Yeah, currently Huntsville and Athens homes average about 3 days on the market, with Madison being just under 2 days and Decatur sitting around 6.
In addition, home prices are up from a year ago as well.
In Huntsville, the median sales price is just under $257,000, and in Madison, it's right at $300,000.
Athens home prices average at about $247,000, and Decatur came in at $182,000.
As we said before, the market has cooled off just a little bit.
But like the weather here, our housing market is still very hot.
However, we are starting to notice that more homes are coming on the market.
And something else that we've noticed is homes having a slight price decrease as well.
Sellers have gotten pretty excited about what they might be able to sell their home for.
And they may have overpriced, thinking that the market would continue to be as hot as it was earlier in the year.
Which you can't blame them. But with more homes going on the market, that gives more buyers more choices, which can actually drive the prices down slightly.
Another thing to note is that we have had a few appraisals come back lately that were below the list price.
And again, in our opinion, this just indicates that some sellers have gotten a little bit too aggressive with their pricing.
Now, don't get us wrong, we are still in a very strong seller's market.
But the stats we've shown prove that the market is slowing down ever so slightly.
You can see here that all 4 areas are still getting 100% or more of their list price.
One of the differences we're seeing is that in the height of this craziness this spring, homes were getting 20 plus offers way over list price and with no inspections, and some of them with no appraisal requirements.
It was really crazy and really difficult for buyers at that time.
And frustrating and nerve-wracking for sellers too.
Thankfully, we've seen that slow down some in the market recently.
Lately, we're only starting to see, 6 or 7 offers, maybe 8.
Unfortunately, there's still some that are waiving inspections and appraisals, though.
Yeah, and these are mostly those cash buyers.
A question that we often get asked is, are we headed for a crash?
But our current situation is not the same as it was back several years ago when the crash occurred.
True. We talked about that in our last monthly update.
Back then, just about anybody could get a mortgage.
And there were no loan documents, no income requirements, and no asset requirements for those trying to get a loan.
Essentially, all you had to do was basically sign the papers and move in.
So a lot of people got into homes that really shouldn't have been able to.
And eventually, our market crashed.
Then they all had to sell, and then we had way too many homes up for sale, so prices tanked.
The number one reason we're in this current rise in prices right now is simply because we are short on homes.
We just don't have enough houses for the number of people that want to buy them.
Huntsville is one of the top cities in the country with the housing shortage.
We are number 13 on this chart, right below Nashville.
So yes, things are getting better, but we are definitely not out of this craziness yet.
Not quite. We do expect prices to continue to rise, but at a more normal rate and not like they have been.
Please. Now, we mentioned earlier that Huntsville has been in the news again recently.
That's right. A couple of weeks ago, Huntsville was named the biggest city in the state of Alabama.
We've officially grown bigger than Birmingham and larger than Montgomery.
This poll was based on a city population.
Another list we have popped up on is the top 10 cities to buy a rental.
Huntsville ranked in at number 8 in that poll.
And all this media attention is attracting investors with cash.
which unfortunately is making it a little difficult for some, like first-time home buyers, to be able to compete in the market.
However, as the market begins and continues to slow down, new home buyers will have more opportunities to buy.
All right, that's it for now.
Let us know if you have any questions or comments, or if we can help you out in any way.
Thank you so much for watching today.
We hope that you will check back often as we release new videos every other week, all things Rocket City and real estate.